All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the SkinCoin WCA group stage continuing coverage of what is the European region, and looking forward to some more Group B action coming at you today on what is scheduled to be 2 best-of-3s. We're going to get to see all 4 teams here in Group B today. First off, we got MidOrFeed taking on Team Kinguin. And this will be followed up with Mousesports versus Effect. So again, 2 best-of-3s coming at you, ready for a great day of Dota ahead of us here. I'm BreakyCPK, going to be joined by ZrRock. Real quickly, though, before all of that, if you type !SkinCoin in chat, you can get information on the giveaway currently going on, as well as if you go to SkinCoin.org. It's the latest cryptocurrency in the esports market. You can actually trade it in for your favorite Dota 2 and even CSGO skins on top of that. So again, SkinCoin.org. All right, we got draft number 1 kicking off here, though, ZrRock. I'm excited to be here. How about you, man?
Yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely. Very excited to be here.
Remaining.
I'm really excited to see what this MidOrFeed stack looks like. I haven't gotten to cast one of their games yet, so
yeah. We got to cast them yesterday, and they won. They won 2-1 over, what was it, Effect? Yeah, they beat Effect yesterday 2-1 in their opening match of the group stages. But same with you, I don't think I've got the chance to cast them either up until that point. You know, it seems like Cinderin is definitely, a good fit for them, as we kind of expected. Brings this leadership, brings, some experience and everything. I will say, though, there were points where they seemed a little bit off. The chemistry still has taken some time to come together. So we'll see how they perform against. On the other side, you have Kinguin. This is a team that's been around at least a year, if not longer, together.
Yeah, they've definitely got the pedigree together. And they've shown some results. I mean, they've made it really deep in a lot of these qualifiers. They've qualified for one event. I'm impressed with them so far.
Wait, they did qualify for an event? Actually, which event did they qualify for?
Was it only this? Did they play the open regional qualifier?
No. I'm trying to think. Like, let me check back in there.
10 seconds.
Oh no, you're right. They did qualify for Perfect World. You were right.
5
There you go.
seconds.
Don't doubt yourselves. I honestly just didn't remember. I thought
It's very early for me right now. I'm not a totally functional person, so when I said that, I wasn't thinking, which usually means it's right. But then when I had to think about it, I wasn't 100% sure. But
you are
we
right.
do see the Necro picked up real quick from Kinguin here. For guys looking to eat some food, they picked that in about 2 seconds. So
Yeah.
not really helping their cause out. Yeah, for anyone watching, we had a bit of an interesting discussion in lobby chat. Team Kinguin's like, dude, we haven't eaten all day. I'm starving. And one of their players said I literally might die in the game if I don't get my food now.
I hope not. I'm sure they'll be fine. I'm sure they'll survive. But, man, again, it's been a grind for these players. I can only imagine what it's been like, just waking up every day, playing a bunch of Dota 2 and tournament matches, and then scrimming more after. I mean, it's just that their lives are Dota 2 right now. But welcome to the world of, professional athletes in general, right? It's just, you got to live and breathe it when it comes to the season coming up here. So, but you mentioned Necrophos and a Silencer coming out. Obviously, I assume Silencer is a bit of a reaction pickup, if anything, for the Batrider. Tends to be a great hero against him. In general, though, we don't see a lot of Silencer. Again, you and I, we've casted, a fair amount of North American region, and Complexity does run at a good amount, but outside of that, I feel like it's not a hero we get to see too often here. But
yeah,
solid against Batrider, though.
Well, what's real interesting here is both players still leaving their 4 picks open. Generally, those are very, very contested. You're talking Earth Spirits, Night Stalkers, Spirit Breakers, and waiting this long to pick them really pinched the pool. I mean, there's no Nyx, there's no Night Stalker, there's no SB, no Enchantress. So a lot of these premium roamers are going away. And as that happened, I think Silencer gets worse. Like, he needs that good roamer with the right CC to go with him. Otherwise, their laning phase, their mid game can really look very, very lackluster.
Yeah, you look at the options that they have left right here. I mean, again, Earthshaker, no doubt, is kind of leading that hero pool, and then Sand King, of course. But, yeah, going down the tier list of sorts, Clockwork is the choice, though, for MidOrFeed, however. God, I want to say we saw them play Clockwork yesterday, and I believe it's Keizu ended up playing in the off lane. So I'm definitely not sold that that's a – well, no, they have Batrider. What am I saying? So they're probably going to run Batrider, Keizu, and then Clockwork would be the 4 then at this point here.
Although Bat just following
True.
Necro around dumpsters him. So if this is mid-Necro...
True. We've seen that several times, and we've definitely... I mean, that's... You know, that's almost like a hero that I'm just shocked we don't see more because of that. Whenever we do see the matchup, it is just insane how one-sided it seems to go in favor of the Bat Rider. But you're right. That's very worth pointing out.
This is real interesting, though, because we've seen a couple teams run 4-row Rubik's. Team 2Ho does it fairly often. But
5 seconds remaining.
I'm not sure how well it pairs with something like a Silencer. It, again, leaves them very CC light. I'm almost wondering if we're not going to see either an offlane Necro or a core Silencer here.
Yeah, that's possible for sure. I mean, a core Silencer definitely isn't out of the question, and
like if it's Silencer just following Bat Rider around as a core, it gets really interesting because with Silencer's Q, adding duration every time Bat Rider uses Napalm, or Napalm, it can basically turn it into a 1-for-1 every time. Like, yes, Silencer can still die to the Bat Rider, but at the same time, Bat Rider then has like 20 seconds of that Q applying a debuff to him.
yeah.
So they can get in a situation where they're always trading the kill. And MidOrFeed's lineup right now is looking very, very non-scalar. Like, Clock, Bat, Lich, they're great for picking people off in the late game, but their team fight late game is not necessarily the best. And Jug doesn't really make that better. Like, Jug is a great late game carry with the right CC available and, you know, a bunch of AoE crowd control to keep him bashing on people in fights. But this is a very pick-off-oriented lineup out of MidOrFeed.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be going for that aggressive play style, and I want to say in the series yesterday against Effect, we did seem to see that a little bit more than anything. That seems like their kind of go-to, being able to move around the map constantly. And it was a very, very active series yesterday for sure. So almost kind of expecting that. Hell, this tournament in general has been that. I know you haven't been here as my co-caster these last couple of days, but even before that and just throughout these group stages, though, it's been I almost want to say it's been a Game of Thrones, honestly, as well. There's been a lot of turning moments in these series where one team's ahead and it kind of goes the other way. So that's something else to look forward to in these games because of maybe some of just the over-the-top aggressive and active play that we have been seeing in this event. But Kinguin, they need their 4th pick, and they're going to end up with a Phantom Lancer, actually, as their 4th pick. So looking less likely that it's a core Silencer, although it's still possible with the mid-Silencer and the offlane Necro, as you're pointing out. There's potential, but maybe not now.
I would doubt it.
10 seconds remaining.
How does Phantom Lancer?
Offlane left.
5 seconds remaining.
PL versus Jug is a very, very good matchup. Like, Juggernaut can't Omni Slash if Doppelwalk is up. You just lose the whole Omni then. So, not very good into that. The only way to really beat PL as Jug is, like, in the early game, you spin on him, you force the Doppel with spin, and then try to run him down and get the Omni out. Like, their CC isn't great on the side of Kinguin to peel for the Lancer, so that's actually possible.
10 seconds
but,
remaining.
I mean, if you're MidOrFeed, maybe you go something like a Magnus.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay, yeah, you got the Juggernaut already, so Magnus, of course, always great synergy.
Yeah, you can run 4 Clock, you can run Bat Rider wherever Necro goes, and then run Mag in the other solo lane.
Definitely brings a bit more of that crowd control as well on top of the team fight presence as you're getting at there. So, well, now they can. Kinguin's like, we thought about that too. We're smart as well. So they
Which is interesting because Kinguin has 2 of the best picks against the Magnus and the Silencer and the Rubik. You've always got to be afraid of RP steals. Global Silence, like, as he's blinking to stop the RP, can be just crippling.
Whoa.
And they just say, screw it, and grab the other, the original Phantom Lancer counter. Tomato is decked out on this Sven, too.
Yeah.
That sword is so sweet.
I want to say Tomato's been playing Sven a fair amount at the carry position for this team. And not surprisingly, again, Sven is a go-to carry option nowadays when it comes to that one position. But, yeah, it seems to be very comfortable for him kind of transitioning over to this one role. But that means we're going to see a mid-Juggernaut, though, being played by Cancel here. So they go the double melee. I mean, double melee core like this, that seems a little concerning to me that you're going to go for that. You have a clockwork with the cogs. You got to be a little bit careful almost that, it doesn't block out your own teammates. It feels a little clunky. It feels forced here with this Fen pick.
A little bit, but at the same time, we've seen what clockworks can do if their whole goal is just to disrupt and not to control. If their entire goal is just to get to Nature's Prophet and make his life a living hell, we've seen how well some clocks can do that. But yeah, they almost needed a second high damage core though, because one of them will probably die to Reaper Scythe. That's just an inevitability. And with that, you need to have some backup damage option. So I think that's just their way to handle that.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. It's good to have that second core against a Necrophos in general for that reason alone. So
wait, Weehaw plays 4 for them though, right?
Yeah, and you're right. He's on the Bat Rider. Interesting. Wait, so that means Keizu is on the clockwork.
Yeah,
that's what I point out. Yeah. So yesterday he ran the clockwork as well, and just kind of assumed it was going to be different because of the heroes, but no.
That fixes some of the issues with running the clock here too. Because if he's getting extra XP, if he's getting extra gold in the soft lane, it's going to get him to Blade Mail faster. It's going to get him to level 6 faster. And he is more of a solo kill pressure threat. He will be able just to find the NP and even put pressure on somebody like Necro.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, so I wonder if that's going to be his goal. Like, we talked about the idea of the matchup of a of a Bat Rider versus a Necrophos. As, mic problems. Oh, God. Tomato loves to draw on that mini-map, man.
I told you. I did say the first game I casted with Tomato, I was afraid he was going to do it.
Yeah, actually, in the yesterday's series, he was playing like in the second game it was. And to be frank, it was some pretty sloppy play from MidOrFeed, and they were making some poor decisions in the game. It felt off. And Tomato, later on in the game, he wrote out "kill me" on the mini map, and it's just like, oh, come on, man. We understand it's frustrating, but he is still young.
Tomato.
He is still young. Let's remind this team in general is still young. But that was a great pickup of Cinderin though, right? That was supposed to address. I know it's still very early on, and maybe he'll talk with him a little bit more as things move on here. But anyways, enough about that. Going back to the Bat Rider though, yeah, sitting on top of the Necrophos as a support hero definitely is. It has just as much, if not even more impact, because then he has that core with him to possibly even pick up the kill quicker. So again, I wonder if that's going to be his goal. And Necrophos right now is shaping up to be in the safe lane up at the top. So I wonder if that's where he's going to end up here. That's what I'm going to look for, if he kind of just hunts the Necrophos this game.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It takes a few levels to be able to do that. And if Silencer's with the Necro, it can be pretty difficult. I'm more curious to see how PL survives this mid lane matchup. PL is good into Jug overall as a conceptual matchup, but if you just jam the two mid lane, I'm pretty sure Jug wins that pretty heavily. He just spins on the creep waves pretty consistently. He always has push advantage, so that he can always get every rune. As a mid matchup, it seems pretty bad for the PL.
Okay.
Especially if you have Cinder in here, just making it worse.
Well, you do have Kinguin shaping up like they're going to be running the Silencer and Nature's Prophet down here at the bottom lane. So talk about how maybe that mid matchup might not be the greatest for them, but at the same time, the bottom lane seems like it's going to be very annoying for this Fen down here, as well as whatever support tends to be down here. And for right now, it is going to be the Bat Rider kind of babysitting him. Of course, Lich in the middle lane, already sacrificing the range creep here, and looking to maybe help him out.
They're putting a lot of resources in making sure Weehaw doesn't have a free jungle to pull and get levels off of. They use both a sentry and an observer ward in the small camp.
Oh, wow.
And put them in places that you can't get both wards without blocking your own camp. So they really want to make sure this Bat Rider can't find any free XP.
Middle lane, Rubik. I was wondering if he's going to wait around for the courier snipe. Instead, he decides to just run out. I guess he was trying to be patient there, but no courier being sent out, so he'll then make his way to the middle lane instead. But yeah, as you pointed out, no safe game to pull for Wee. He's going to realize that right here. Like, ah, crap. Pings it out. We'll probably see a sentry eventually come, but as you pointed out, there's really no way he's getting both of those. So you'll need a couple of sentries, and at that point, it's like, is it even worth it then? The best thing you can hope for is to get the Observer Award at the very least, seeing that lasts a little bit longer. Weehaw, going to be lifted up, though, and it's going to take some good damage here. He's not dead, but that's Rubik coming in now. They're really making a point to lock down this Sven. That's the goal, clearly, of Kinguin early on.
Yeah, with the way Sven's farming patterns are and the way the hero works as a whole, it's just he explodes outwards so fast once he gets his Mask of Madness and his treads. So if you can apply pressure to him and slow those two items, you can slow his entire spike when he can actually do damage, because those are his farming items. Well, then he still needs Blink BKB before he can really team fight. So if you can slow down one of those, you slow down all of them, and that just gives you a lot more time to actually come online on something like the PL and the Necro.
Yeah. Speaking of PL, middle lane, as you were getting at, I mean, it's going to be a very difficult lane matchup, especially with the Lich here, and he is feeling it, man. He doesn't have any region on him currently. This is currently a cooldown. Bottom lane, putting pressure on Silencer. He's going to go for the TP play, and it is going to be enough. That was a great decision. If he tries to run there, he very likely dies due to being slowed, so.
Look where he ported, though. Like, he's still super risky to be here.
Right, there's no south. I thought there was just going to be a south.
Lane.
Oh, meanwhile, teleport in. Cinderin's caught in the jungle. This is first blood coming out in favor of Kinguin. Rubik having to find the Lich, and Nature's Prophet's like, I got this nifty ability where I can join you in that teleportation. So good find there, and that's first blood struck from Kinguin. It was so close to going the other way, but yeah, you're right. I mean, Silencer, was a little bit low, but now he's eating up some trees, and he's healing up just fine now. At the bottom. So we're covering already, and now Sven. He could. Wants a Stormhammer, but that curse on him.
I just don't ever want to run away from Curse of the Silent and getting blocked.
He's dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, he should have stunned there is what you're saying. But even if he does, I don't know if that's going to work though, right? Like,
it probably wouldn't, but it buys you some time to try to reevaluate the situation or at least get a 1-for-1 out of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously in hindsight especially, it's would have been made more sense to just man up right there, tried for something. Ultimately going down, though, but again, the mission of locking him down is being accomplished. Back to the middle lane. Phantom Lancer 14-0. Juggernaut, though, 21-7. So as we were talking about, overall going in favor of Juggernaut. But it feels like that, especially with how the lanes are set up here, as long as Phantom Lancer stays alive and just soaks experience, as well as getting okay farm like he's doing now, then he's accomplishing plenty for his team's success here.
Yeah, I mean, right now you're trading Necro Farm for Clockwork. They're very, very even in this top lane here. So that's definitely a win for Kinguin. Your Nature's Prophet is just crushing this lane right now, and you're keeping Sven down. So even if mid's a total disaster, as long as you're not feeding kills, it's really pretty good.
Top lane. Oh, that's a spin from Cancel. That was curious. Huh. Not sure what that was about. Just to get away. I don't know if he thought they were going to, like, initiate on him or what, but he will pick up the Haste Rune just in time before getting lifted up right there. So he bottles that up. We'll see if we can make a play with that. But yeah, top lane, Necrophos 23-7, Clockwork 19-6 right now. KZU currently sitting on 700 gold. I wonder what he's going to be looking to buy here earlier on.
Boom, there it goes.
He's running at him. I mean, there's no way it kills him, right? It's a Necrophos, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to.
He's going to force a lot out of him. That's
now,
for sure.
KZU can get turned on here.
No Reaper Scythe.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, he's fine, but KZU knowing his limits, just applying some pressure again. Wasn't going to get the kill, just making him use plenty of regen if anything. Cancel middle lane. Wow, Cancel getting really low right here, trying to man fight. He has a heal ward down. It's only level 1 though, and he will pop that Haste Rune and going back in. But Rubik is nearby, could not get the lift off. Will just destroy the ward and get a nice little bounty himself, however. So Phantom Lancer, he's picking up a little bit, but overall, again, Cancel still winning in, and Cancel's continuing to just run back in and apply the auto attack. So a lot of back and forth here in the middle lane, but the Phantom Lancer, again, doing what he really needs to be doing, just simply staying alive, and now he's going to pop a shrine and head back on over. So looking to be overall a pretty solid laning start here for Kinguin as a whole.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised Cancel played that aggressive with that haste bottled up. He didn't have that many points in spin yet. He's actually saving points. I thought he was going to hold that till level 6 and then look to blow the haste rune, go to a side lane and Omni-Slash something.
Top lane. Batrider's here, though, so yeah, they're probably not going to... This is what we're talking about from the beginning, though, is Batrider maybe going to hunt the Necrophos, and finally he does make his way up here now, realizing that the bottom lane's opened up.
Super deadly now for the Necro. I mean, 1 cogs, even just getting clipped by battery assault's probably enough to kill him.
You see Batrider now doing some jungling instead, stacking it up, and man, he has a couple of stacks right here to work off of. So this is going to be Wee's plan, is to just jungle for the time being.
Originally, I would say that the plan is that this jungle is all meant for Sven, and every stack you get goes to him, but Sven's under so much pressure, it's going to be quite a while before he's able to clear these.
That's a good point, yeah. That's one downside of you having a hero like Batrider who wants to take a lot of these camps stack that you have the god of taking stacks, and that you want to usually give it all to him in that Sven. But as you're pointing out, he is going to load a slower start, so it would be inefficient right now to just let them sit rather than Batrider take at least his own, as you see off to the side there. But are they stacking for him at all right now? I mean, I'm looking through the camps. Ancients are stacked. Oh, top lane, that's a kill on Elisa. KZU might fall though in return. He indeed will. Looking at static neutral creeps and missing kill top lane. My apologies. We're back and forth there. Was that a Reaper Scythe? It was. Did not get the kill, but secures it onto him. And now actually sound supports middle lane. Yeah, Cancel's in trouble right here. He's going to go for the turn kill. Doppelganger though at the last second, and that secures it in favor of Kinguin. A 4-1 start now. Their only kill on the Radiant side is coming on that support silencer that we just had at the top lane.
Yeah, this is what their lineup does, though. Like, the only potential for kills was mid lane with Cancel, until they got a few extra levels up on the supports. Now Weeha and KZU are at, like, kill range. Ooh, top lane, though.
Well, speaking of kill range, KZU's in kill range. Reaper Scythe not ready, but not necessary. The auto attack, in fact, gets it in Exotic Deer. He'll just love that mana, going all the way back to full, as well as the health.
They're just going to be so far off from the items they need, though. Like, obviously, we talked already about Sven's item progression and his need to actually have a decent early game. And then there's also Batrider. I mean, he really needs to get to something, whether that's Tranquils and a drum or even Blink. But without either of those tools, their initiation's just Clock Hook. Yeah. Other than that, everything they do, Kinguin should see coming a mile away.
Yeah, and speaking of that, Weeha's looking good towards... it seems like Drums is going to be the great choice here. He just even buys a Ring of Regen to finish the Tranquil Boots, but going to go Tranquil Boots into Drums, basically. Especially playing that 4 position, wants to be able to get an item that's going to give him a little more stats, as well as help with the overall team fight here for the team. But yeah, Batrider really seems like the one that's going to need to have high impact, because, again, Juggernaut needs a little bit of time before he's going to start to come online. I mean, he's farming very well, but I can only do so much with what he has right now. Middle lane, no, just simply saying hello with a Stormhammer to the face. And then walking back. But it looks like Tomato, he's tired of trying to farm bottom lane as the tower goes down. He instead goes mid. And now, speaking of bottom, KZU, is he dead here? He is dead. Pato's credit for the kill on the Nature's Prophet. So they're trying to make rotations as MidOrFeed, but Kinguin, they just keep playing aggressive and taking advantage of this massive range lineup that they have.
Their damage is just so lackluster right now for MidOrFeed. Your Lich took the 1-1-3 build where he doesn't do much damage, he's just gaining you an advantage through sacrifice. Your Sven didn't max Stormbolt, he's going the cleave farming build. So they're just in the spot where they really lack the damage, and we just saw an Omni Slash come out, and Nature's Prophet just summoned trees.
He just summoned trees and teleported. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it was a very unlucky bounce, but that's also the case of you got to expect that's a possibility, right? Like, there was like 3 or 4 creeps nearby. I don't know what he hoped that all 3 would land on him, and even then, would it really be enough damage? So, it's,
I mean, he's just probably thinking, this is the core I have the best chance of killing with this, because Necro just Ghost Shreds, Phantom Lancers, Doppelgangers. There's not really any easy way for him to get a good Omni Slash off early. Hookshot, though, on top lane.
Necrophos, we've seen him many times before, though. He's beefy. He ain't beefing enough. Kawan not going to save him here. They also get the lasso on Nature's Prophet, so a couple of kills potentially. Chain Frost bouncing around, bounces over. Kakor will fall on the Rubik. However, Patos, he's going to keep on running. The urn is on him. Juggernaut trying to get close enough.
Phase Boots will get through the trees.
There you go. Phase Boots running on through, and Sven's like, I'm here too. Cuts him down. The final auto attack from Cancel. So that's exactly what MidOrFeed needs, a rotation that works, and taking advantage of the hook shot from Clockwork, and then using their level 6s on heroes like Clockwork and even the Batrider.
Yeah, very nice use there to get the lasso off on an effective target. And Chain Frost coming in the perfect timing. They got to be a little careful here of overstaying. If Necro just TPs into this, gets a good Reaper off, this could go pretty poorly.
Like that.
Basically like that. Who's got a force staff already? Necro. Holy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fast.
He is having very good farm. Not too surprising with the way things have been looking. That's also going to be a kill on Cinderin. It's just a matter of who gets the last hit. It will be Patos on the Nature's Prophet. So, as you pointed out there, they needed to be careful sticking around a little bit too long, and well, they did. So Cancel falls, and he's dead for another 20 seconds even now.
I really appreciate the itemization here from Kinguin. They're like, oh, we're against Clockwork. We need force staffs.
Oh, yeah.
Necro's got one. Nature's Prophet's buying one. Rubik has one queued up.
Oh, yeah. Force staff's great this game. It's good. I was having that conversation with Trell the other day. It's just force staff for its cost especially. It's one of the strongest items in the game, just like as throughout the whole game, too. Whereas for so little gold, you get so much value, like any game, no matter what. So. Then
what it can do is just disgusting. Saving people, pushing enemies into you, getting yourself out of range of the Sven.
Yeah, and then there's heroes like Clockwork, where it's just pretty much necessary to get it against, as you pointed out, and they got 3 coming, already 1 finished. And hell, Silencer, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for 1 later on. By the way, speaking of Elisa here on Silencer, he's hungry, and he's still in plenty of intelligence. So, I don't know if that helps his hungry cause, but he has +8 intelligence on Silencer early on. That's pretty solid.
One thing we do have to watch here, though, going forward. The ancient stacks have been scouted by Kinguin. They know there are these big stacks for Sven, and he hasn't taken them yet. So I'm wondering if we're going to see a smoke up used to get some deep vision. And it looks like we're going to right now, actually. This way, the second Sven goes for his stacks, he has to commit God Strength for him. And then once he gets a little low from him, Kinguin can swoop in if their timing's right. You kill Sven, you take the stacks, and then Sven just feels bad for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Is under attack.
Oh yeah, no, taking those resources away from Sven this early on in the game is just really, really effective in use of time if you're Kinguin. So, as you point out, they smoked up. They got the sentry down at least middle lane. They maybe want to try to go for the middle tower kill, if not a gank here in the middle. That's exactly what they're doing. The train is coming. Choo-choo, mother. Anyways, Cancel gets lifted up, and that's a kill on him. Global Silence even as well. Using quite a bit right there to make sure they get that core kill on Juggernaut. They take out the tower, and I really wouldn't be surprised if they transition over here and take out these Ancients as well. It has to get bottom tier too. Jesus. Their Kinguin's just moving so fluidly right now.
This is no longer a Radiance jungle, so whether they take these now or later, it doesn't really matter if they keep vision here.
That's a steal. So Sven, it's like clockwork in the sense of the word, not the hero necessarily. But Kinguin just doing things so smoothly right now, and they're also going to find Wii was checking it out. He's like, wait a second, they're doing our Ancients. And he's going to barely survive. Here comes that God Strength from Sven there. He runs over the War Cry. Mascomatis is ready to go as well. He jumps Elisa. Did not Stormhammer first, but he gets the kill nonetheless with a cleave. And there is still plenty of creeps left, actually. So they didn't get nearly as much as you would have thought, perhaps. And Sven will get the rest of them. So overall, that didn't go that bad for MidOrFeed, considering how that was looking there. But still a victory for Kinguin in the big picture.
Yeah, that's something, and something is good for them right now. But yeah, Kinguin's just got so many towers so fast. Basically, the entire onus is on them just to keep the pressure up and not let MidOrFeed get to these core items. Especially if Tomato goes this Echo Saber. Looks like, I mean, he did buy the Ogre Axe at least. He could still pivot that to a BKB eventually, but like, if he goes Echo, he needs a lot more time.
So you're saying that seems just a little bit too greedy, a little too over the top.
Like, in a perfect world, it's great. I love that build over just straight Blink if you're able to, if everything's protected. And he does have a pretty big second stack here he can start to take. But I'm just wondering if they're not going to get, like, this might lose them all of their outer towers by going this build.
That's a fair point. You mentioned those center and stacks it even another time, and this has got to be at least a quad, if not a 5-stack here at this Ancient. So, Tomato pops God Strength. Hasn't used Warcry yet. Okay, there we go. Stormhammer Warcry, and he'll cleave it down. On the dire side, they're making a move with the smoke, but they're going to get their lead to deny the top tower. Does cancel there, but they may get somebody included. Nope, Cancel also included. He's in trouble. Global Science comes out again. It's like, that's the second time we've now seen those ultimates in pair. It's the lift and a Global Silence into Reaper Scythe. That's back-to-back times now on Cancel. Playing that Juggernaut. He's having a difficult time now.
Rough.
Yeah. It's pretty brutal for him. Wow, he's just charging. Yeah. God, going into Necrophos like that is always feels so scary. And he will force Staff over the ledge to be fine, but... Well, Echo Saber is finished, though, by Sven, but going back to Juggernaut, he still doesn't even have his Yasha finished, so he's still working off his early game items at 16 minutes into the game at this point.
Yeah, he's definitely going to struggle to find impact. They do get a grab on the Weehaw here.
Oh, hookshot misses. Trying to hit that to maybe help him. Now comes the Chain Frost, the spinning Rubik. He TPs. No, it's not enough in the end. He will die, but good attempt from the Rubik there. Still a 1-for-1.
That was way closer than I thought for Rubik getting out there.
Yeah. Nice steal on his part to go for the TP. All right, so we have a pause here to kind of break down a little more how things are looking. Radiance is almost finished on Necrophos, by the way. He has 36, pretty much 3,700 gold, basically has the Sacred Relic. And the pattern soon to come, of course. And that's going to be really good this game, because we talked about the dual melee core, especially Sven and Juggernaut. They're going to be missing now like crazy on him with that burn.
Yeah, he's going to instantly become, like, public enemy #1. Your Blink's still a little ways off on the Batrider. Obviously, yeah, you could have Keizu go for him and just dive bomb him early game. But without the Blink from Sven, it's going to be real hard to even get to him. Like, they don't have a lot of heroes that cover a lot of ground very quickly. And you talked about the anti-synergy with Clockwork and these two melee cores. And generally, that shouldn't be a factor because your Sven will have Blink, your Juggle will eventually have Blink, or Keizu could be zoning like Rubik or Silencer. But when you're down this much, you don't get that luxury. You have to just take who you can get.
Nisha, Diffusal Blade, bot's almost finished.
See, Kezi went Midas.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, too. I think kids who go on the Midas build, it seems like it's almost tied in with the Echo Saber on Sven as you're getting at. It's like, it's a very greedy choice, but, you know, if
he's just trying to match the timings on the team, though. Like, they're not in a good position to team fight right now. He knows that. And one item's probably not changing that. So he thinks Midas is going to get him to at least one more item by the time his cores come online. And it looks like it will. I mean, he'll have his Force Staff about the same time Sven gets to his next item. But, as you said, it's making this big power trough where they're really, really weak right now.
And it showed. I mean, we already have 4 tower kills in favor of Kinguin. Obviously, when it comes to hero kills as well, I'll have a 12-6 lead. And they've completely taken over the Radiant jungle. I mentioned earlier, this has basically become Kinguin's jungle at this point. But speaking of that, right now, MidOrFeed, they're in the dire jungle here and trying to take over it to an extent. Nature's Prophet just keeping his distance, just using the trees to kind of scout things out, see what's going on. But Nisha, he's down here. Bots are finished. And clearing out more of the camps on the Radiant side, and even going to take out just the one Ancient set here as well. But Sven, the BKB is going to be next. So he's not going for that Blink necessarily either. As, oh, up here. That's Nature's Prophet. He's dead. Omni Slash coming out. The Invis Juggernaut. That lined up neatly for MidOrFeed. Global Science was used as well, so we'll see how much more they can get out of this in response now. Keizu. Oh, the Reaper Scythe at the last second. Middle lane, though. Rubik will go down to Wii, so another back and forth.
A little bit of a game there. That gets MidOrFeed a little more time. That gets them some much-needed gold. That's pretty big, actually. That's buying space for Sven to keep going. Like, he has to get to BKB Blink. Whatever order he gets them in, whatever. But he does have to get to both of those items before they're really going to feel comfortable taking a fight.
Yeah, level 2 Reaper Scythe, though. So Clockwork was dead for like 65 seconds at the beginning of that. He's still dead for another 30, and we're only 19.5 minutes in. So that's got to feel bad, man. But he'll be up here soon. And the hook shot ready to go. Does have 4 earn charges. I'm trying to make use of that. But yeah, Sven, even with the Echo Saber now and the Mask of Madness, he's still in 3rd on that net worth chart. He's behind the cores on the other side in both the Necrophos and of course the Phantom Lancer even. But the Radiance finished. The Phantom Lancer, what is he going for next? He's going Lincoln's. Okay. Interesting choice there from him. But Batrider, I gotta think, is the specific reason.
Yeah, it either blocks Lasso, Stormbolt. Lich is probably never close enough to have it block a Lich spell, so either of those super value to block. The one interesting caveat, though, is it's really bad into Omni Slash. It only blocks the first slash. He still gets the rest of the skill off. So if Jug does manage to get into his face, he can kind of negate the Lincolns.
I can't say I was fully aware of that. So he actually still gets the channel off of the Omni Slash. It's just that first attack. Okay.
Yeah.
Radiant's
Interesting.
middle tower is
Oh,
under
that's a
attack.
kill on a Lich. Yeah, I saw him. He was scouting out, and he was getting wards down in the dire jungle, and he, as a result, he was in a bad position, and they capitalized there. So he got some vision down at least. But and Cinderin is also going the hand of Midas. We saw this yesterday too when he was playing Lich. At least in one game, might have been a couple of games even that he got it. So just likes this
Dire's
item
top
here
tower is under attack.
to excel him into that later game stage if that happens to be the case. As Roshan,
The fact that MoF knows about this now makes this way scarier for Kinguin. Like, fighting in the pit against Batrider Sven, I mean, honestly, this whole Radiant team is terrifying. So, just the very presence of Weehaw there is pushing the entire team off the Roshan.
Scanning.
And it is fairly low. I mean,
Dire's
it's
top tower is
about a
under
half
attack.
regenning up now. But if MidOrFeed could have found one pick off there, there's a chance they get the Rosh. Smoke up, though, from Kinguin.
Dire
yeah,
are
they're
scanning.
looking. I will say in a lot of these series, it's been the Roshan 5 that's turned everything. This isn't necessarily Roshan 5. It's near the area, though. Clockwork going to be jumped on initially. He goes in, can make the cogs up. No, the Reaper side cuts him down before, and Global Science as well, causing an issue. Now Juggernaut, though, he gets the Omni Slash off on 3 heroes, gets 1, gets 2, and now he's going for Necrophos. The Ghost Shroud popping off, of course, but eventually going to be wearing off right there. The last one to lock him down, and they're going to kill the Necrophos as well. Triple kill for Cancel. When it's all said and done, you only have Phantom Lancer, I guess. Nature's Prophet is still alive as well. He's back at the base. But a 3-for-1 exchange.
Who Cancel prayed to for those Omni Slash bounces, but it worked. Didn't have a single one wasted on the Necro. Managed to put every bounce onto the 2 squishy supports, bringing them down in just the
Dire's
Omni.
middle tower
And when it
is
was
under
just
attack.
Necro left without the supporting cast, that got a whole lot easier. And just like that, Cancel picks up like 2,000 gold.
He made a point to go Diffusal first against this Necrophos, and so he has that, and now he has the Yasha just about finished, as you're pointing out. He's getting that huge bounty from that fight. Yeah, you're right. I mean, the bounces were so in his favor with where that placement was, and it's something like that MidOrFeed exactly needed to calm it down a little bit and bring them right back in. It's only a 2,000 net worth lead now in favor of Kinguin, and you do have 2 very scary cores on the other side. BKB was used that fight from Sven, but still 9-second duration left, and he's going to have a blink now coming up soon. He actually doesn't even have power treads yet, just realizing that. But meanwhile, Lich will get killed off here, and that was the armor stolen, by the way, from Kakor, which is a pretty good steal this game, considering what they're going up against. So he's going to be able to spread
There's still
that.
a Diffusal on Jug, though.
True. Going to be able to spread the love, though, for Sven specifically, if he jumps the target.
Cancel's not going to rethink his item choice here. You don't really have a choice. You have to get Manta for Global.
That, the synergy with the Diffusal Blade, it's just such a nice damage amp tool together. But, yeah, I think you're right, though, yeah, with the Global. It's kind of the big thing. Lich.
Ooh, they're going.
He's trying. Lasso catches Exotic Deer right here. The Stormhammer finally happens, but he got the Ghost Shroud. I'm dying here. He got the Ghost Shroud off. God Strength is popped by Sven, but now he's kind of forced to fight. He's going to try to TP. That's not going to work, though. He had a chance for a Reaper Sight there even, but just didn't come into play onto him. But now with Sven dead for 45 seconds, this could open up a Roshan attempt here.
And that was so unfortunate that Batrider couldn't do anything when he lassoed. Tomato coming in just a little bit too slow there, and without the blink, we see the struggle he has. He had to run into that fight, and that gave Necro that split second to get Ghost Shroud off, just turning that entire engagement.
Radiant's middle tower
Yep,
is
Juggernaut
under
was
attack.
not close enough to
Radiant
assist right there
structures are fortified.
with the Purge. And interesting choice from Necrophos, by the way. He gets a Ghost Scepter. So is that like...
I mean, it's hard to purge 2 of them.
Yeah.
There's an internal cooldown on Diffusal. It's not very long, but that exists. And you're just burning him out of Diffusal charges a whole lot faster.
I guess that's the... I've never seen this, though. That's...
He just feels like he's never going to die if he's ethereal.
Yeah.
Like, he really doesn't see any
Dire's
scenario where that
middle tower
happens.
is under attack.
And if you can get to a point where you're ethereal all the time, then... Because you can essentially get, like, almost 2 Ghost Shrouds off. Back to back. Like, you Ghost Shroud, Ghost Scepter, then it's only 3 seconds until you have another Ghost Shroud.
Something around there. NA math.
And then And then that gets you 1 second until you have another ethereal.
It's, yeah, kind of just bouncing back and forth is the point.
Yeah, it's just going to make him really hard to bring down.
And like your point, yeah, like this being the dual melee core again, like this isn't like a quap with the Juggernaut. So if this was a Queen of Pain, you'd be like, okay, well, maybe that wouldn't make nearly as much sense, of course. But Sven and Juggernaut are both just all physical here, really. And so just maximizing the tools to make you immune as much as possible while they're trying to kill you, of course, makes a lot of sense here.
Ooh, Tomato real close to getting caught there.
Saw that.
Necro got the force in, almost Reaper.
That should help.
Does make it out, though. And Sven choosing, well, not choosing, but he finished Power Treads first, but again, the blink is now queued up, but it is going to be a very late blink here for the Sven. But still, once he gets that, that'll be...
Yeah, him getting Blink, Juggernaut getting Manta, very, very important timings. Because all of a sudden, Jug doesn't have to worry about Global as much. Your Sven can actually get on the lasso target.
Radiant's top tower
What?
is under attack.
I'm trying to think. Is anyone dying? No?
They saw Batrider appear on the minimap and thought they were smoked. So, just a real quick snap Global, so if the whole smoke and reveal the whole team there, they can get out.
Oh, that's Exotic Deer dying elsewhere. I'm watching the initiation on the Silencer, though. Batrider does catch him. Not going to really be able to make a play with it, though. He got last word up and was able to react. But where did Necrophos die? That was at the top lane up here.
Yeah, Keizu found him with a hook shot.
Well, Ghost Shroud and Ghost Scepter. Not enough there.
He didn't get either off.
Oh, really? They bursted him that quickly. Jeez. Well, that's that explains it a little more then. And then you have... Paying attention to Phantom Lancer, again, the Lincoln Sphere finish. He has a Butterfly now queued up, which will definitely be a big item. Nature's Prophet. Going to be going Scythe next. He has his Orchid taken care of now. But Scythe is going to be his next option, more crowd control.
He's been a very utility Nature's Prophet so far with the drums and the Force Staff, now an Orchid. Sheep's just going to continue that trend. His whole goal is just control Sven. Like, that was what we saw as the Sven counter last year at TI. Was just you Nature's Prophet into him. Eventually, your Sven has to sell his Quelling Blade. And once he doesn't have that anymore, Sprout is just a hard CC on Sven.
And now speaking of Sven, doing more Ancients, and really wants to finish that Blink. Again, before another big fight breaks out. But Mantis style finish on Juggernaut. He too going the Blink Dagger. So mobilities kicking online quite a bit. Also notice Silencer. He's 30 more seconds on the Global Silence, but 22 stolen intelligence now, by the way. So again, he's
smart.
Yeah, he is getting smarter and smarter as the match moves on here.
Ooh, they got to be careful not to overcommit into this.
Nature's Prophet, he might have just done that. God Strength committed for it, but easy kill onto him, and now Kinguin falling back, but they can't fall back too far. Hookshot, Keizu decides not to trap him, though. Will just cogs away and end the fight right there. But yeah, Kinguin was really chasing.
Yeah, they wanted to get to Tomato. Like, they had Phantom Lancer real close to him, and Silencer had applied some debuffs to him, and they thought they might be able just to dive into the fight, but they weren't expecting all of MidOrFeed to be on that hill.
Yeah.
MidOrFeed's done a good job of trying to get some vision control back. Like, trying to just make sure that they at least have some dark part of the map for Kinguin here. Because the vision is so important in this game.
Cinderin, well, he gets a Chain Frost off at least. Some great bounces for Cinderin. It does bounce over the creep wave. Stolen, though, by Rubik. It's bouncing back in favor of him. Weehaws to fill in the front spin. He farms some Ancients with it as well, but Weehaw juking over the ledge. However, that Death Pulse connects, and eventually will be the end of him. So it looked like it to be a great Chain Frost initially from Lich. Ended up being a better one from Rubik, and he stole it and used it in return.
Yeah, when that bounce came in, I'm like, oh no, this could be a disaster for Kinguin. It does go back to the creep wave though, and this should free up Roshan. With Batrider dead, their pit fight is way less scary.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the scary target. I mean, he has buyback, but this is a slow Roshan. They're not the greatest at killing Roshan.
If Tomato wanted to make a beeline right down here, they could contest. It would be on a prayer though.
And again, he would have to buy back on Batrider. Feels like they're fighting this. Oh my god, Necrophos gets jumped. Can he get anything? No, he can't. He gets picked up by the God Strength BKB, and now Patchos has to force death over the ledge. Nisha trying to deal with Juggernaut meanwhile, but he can't win that man fight as soon as Sven comes in especially. So he has to back up, and you're right. They not only help defend Roshan, but they may steal it for themselves. Batrider is back up, so is the Lich. And we got a big skirmish now at the Roshan pit. With Necrophos dead, though, you really want to commit now if you're Kinguin. There's a lasso up. Nature's Prophet going to get picked up as a result. Down goes Roshan, and Tomato picks up the Aegis. MidOrFeed just getting more and more momentum in these last couple of minutes here. And El Lisa running for his life. Don't think he's going to get too far, though. He'll probably be killed off as well. There's the Cox push. And, yeah, he's definitely dead to finish it off. What a fight, though, for MidOrFeed. And now you got this team on the Radiant side all of a sudden looking very good.
I mean, their lineup's online. That was a little bit of an aggressive Roshan, and Tomato found the right target there when he blinked into the pit. Managing to burst the Necro out before he could even get one Ghost Shroud off was just critical in that fight.
It's amazing to me, because usually we're so used to seeing Necrophos as being so difficult to kill and everything, but these God Strengths initiations from Sven, they're just killing him before he can even activate Ghost Shroud, let alone... So essentially, he has a useless item right now in Ghost Scepter because he hasn't even used it once. Because he just keeps getting jumped and killed before.
In most team fights outside of trying to right-click Rosh yourself and help bring it down, I have to imagine he's going to start like preemptively Ghost Sceptering. I just feel like there's very little downside to that for him. If you would just Ghost Scepter anytime there's anything going on, rather than when he gets gone on and then saving Shroud for when he needs to turn. But struggling to find that. I mean, it's one of those things in theory, it comes off really nice. In practice, Tomato's just doing a good job staying right on top of it.
Coin for me.
And Tomato thought he was hitting hard. That's only increasing. He's just casually sitting with a Chrysalis in his backpack right now, but that's going to turn into a Daedalus here soon, and obviously he'll swap that in, I'm sure. And in fact, I think he could probably swap that in for the BKB right now and just save the BKB for after the Aegis would almost make more sense to me. But either way, he's going to be hitting even harder, and we're seeing how fast Necrophos is already dropping. I mean, the Shivas will help, definitely, but he still doesn't have it yet.
Saving BKB for post-Aegis is kind of a catch-22, because that means you also are saving God Strength until after Aegis, and that just feels terrible in some team fights. You really need to use both together, otherwise it's just super lackluster.
Yeah. That's a good point, but, man, the last thing you want to do is die with that combo for whatever reason and then resurrect and not have it at all. So it's, yeah, like you said, it's a catch-22, but
the hope is if you can get the combo off first, and even if you just get one target dead or very low and your teammates kill them, by the time you come back up, you don't need to do damage anymore. Cancel did all that for you. Weehaw got a pick with Lasso or something. Like, generally, the amount of time it takes to come back from an Aegis is supposed to be the tipping point in a fight, not like a way to start it.
Okay.
The only benefit to like backpacking the BKB now would be if he gets picked. Like if they somehow get a huge grab onto him on the Kinguin side, then coming back it's like, oh, yep, you didn't get anything.
So it looks like Sven might have had a change of heart actually. He was originally going for the Daedalus, but now he
saw the butterfly.
Yeah, the butterfly on Phantom Lancer. That is finished here. So going to react with an MKB. Still a little bit off of that, of course.
Holy
but
shit.
What's up?
Kezu has a Radiance.
Well, that Midas is paying off now.
I saw the burn, and I'm like, Necro's not nearby. Oh.
Interesting. That's great against Phantom Lancer. So that's very good to have on both sides here. And it's just you would expect it to see on Necrophos and not a Clockwork, though. That's a hell of a pickup to have, however, if you're this Radiant side. It's kind of feel good right there. So Nisha. I mean, Phantom Lancer is always kind of a scary late-game hero, definitely, but you mentioned they kind of forced themselves into picking the Sven with the last pick as almost that counter to Sven, and now they have a Radiance burn on top of that. They have even just the burn in general. Like, they got ways to deal with it. Cancel, by the way. Okay, the Lincoln's popped right there. Steals the spin, but they'll back off enough to be fine here. But yeah, if you're Kinguin, do you feel like you're desperate to make plays right now? Because again, Phantom Lancer is great for scaling.
You don't feel that desperate. You can always just... The game can turn at any point. You have a Necro. All it takes is one Reaper Scythe on Tomato at the right time, and you just win the game. So I don't feel like they're necessarily feeling like they're on a clock or they have to win by X time. As the game goes late, it just means, yes, MidOrFeed can fight better. They might be able to win more team fights, but you're just looking for that one team fight if you're Kinguin.
Yeah. The lead has never really been that significant in this game in general. It's been a 5,000 lead for Kinguin. It's been about a 3,000 or so lead for for MidOrFeed. That right now they're about 3,000 themselves. So it's been a very, very tight game in that picture here between these two teams here in what is game 1 of this best of 3. And 36 minutes coming up now.
See that? I like this on Necro. Just
some
finished Shiva's, has a Dagon queued up now, and then after that I'm assuming it's going to be Ethereal Blade. It's just all on the goal of I need to be able to kill one of these cores. Like if I can land a Reapers with the Dagon combo, someone will die and then we should win the game. But it's a long ways off for him. His item progression has been very, very stagnant since this Ghost Scepter pickup.
For me. Double damage.
Lich getting vision down up here. He's still working on the Hand of Midas, but to be fair, hasn't really needed. Lich is a hero in general that benefits just fine with levels.
Dire
Necessarily need a lot of items on him, so accomplishing plenty still in top lane. It's going to be counter pushed by Nature's Prophet. Spawns a trance, making it a little more difficult here. Meanwhile, double damage Phantom Lancer will push out the bottom lane a little bit more, all the way to the base. He's going to bots back, though. Possible fight breaking out here. Hook shot in. That Radiance Burn kicking in as well. Global Science coming out. Keizu, he is not tanky enough for this. He just melts away to the Phantom Lancer especially. They do port out the rest of them, though. And so it'll be just Keizu, the one that's dead. But a Global Science committed to it as well. I always keep that in mind.
Yeah. That's something I wonder if we won't see MidOrFeed just pivot bottom and look to start going. Just pressure the tower a little bit. You know there were people from Kinguin that ported up to that fight. You should be able to get it if you really would like to.
Juggernaut, they're kind of roaming over here. That's Nature's Prophet, I guess, but no, he's already blinked away. Scythe of Nature's Prophet, still a fair amount of gold to go. Only has the Void Stone currently.
Tomato's about 2 minutes from being real scary. SMKB is going to come online. He's going to get his level 65. I'm assuming the damage talent. And he's just going to explode somebody. Whoever he goes on will die.
Nisha, comfortable enough to push that top tower in. Cancel Sense in the illusions, but not going to scare him away, man. This PL, though, I have Scotty now finished. He is a just stat machine. I have Scotty, Butterfly, Lincoln's. He's got it all. 3,200 life, plenty of damage he's dealing, and all the illusions being spawned. It goes back to this Phantom Lancer. He's a great scaling carry, but again, Sven, a couple of hits, he'll cleave that stuff down.
Although Sven bought out a buyback for that MKB. One Reaper Scythe, and this game could be over.
You're
We're at
right.
the stage of the game that a Reaper's going to be 100+ seconds. This could be real scary for Tomato here.
Well, they're
That'd be
finding
a big grab, though.
Yeah, no Global Science. They know this, and actually Science are getting caught. And there's that jump. Also, Rubik gets caught nearby. Poured in from Patos. I believe that was a Chain Frost use right there. Only bounces a couple times, but a couple of hits later from Sven. And Rubik's dead as well. So, yeah, buying out the buyback, but he hits like a freaking truck, man. And that showed off
Real
right there.
unfortunate that Roshan's not up yet.
They would have loved to do it there. Not up, though, so going to have to reset. And when you look at what really just happened right there, I mean, Kinguin, they lost their 2 supports, so it's not the end of the world necessarily. Let's continue to farm elsewhere on their cores.
They lost Roche vision control, though, which is pretty important. Like, unlike the Kinguin team, this MidOrFeed team does bring Roshan down pretty quickly in the Jug and the Sven, especially if they can make God Strength. So giving up that Roshan vision control is essentially giving up Roche unless they can make a play here.
Wow, Phantom Lancer just phantom rushing in like crazy. In case all of a sudden all his mana's gone. That Burn's helping, sure. Doppelganger forward, though. Nature's Prophet caught in the pack lines, however. So 1 for 1 so far. Nisha trying to man fight this, but the lasso not helping that cause. The Burn as well on top of him. Nisha, Doppelganger up in 1 more second. He's going to have to use it right here. Try to escape. Global Science comes out also as a safety net, and that will help keep him alive. Sven was nearby, so maybe without that Global Science, he was jumping in right there.
Yeah, he definitely was. There's still Omni Slash online, too.
So it just ends up being the 1 for 1. Really the same, you know, off lane for off lane. Kind of look at it that way. Clockwork for Nature's Prophet.
Jug took the Blade Fury DPS. Looking for a little more AoE to try to clear through those illusions.
Huh, interesting.
Interesting. And I guess more damage through the Ghost Shroud. If he ends up running out of diffusal charges, it's a way to still damage the Necro. They see Tomato here.
Oh boy, here what you're talking about. He wouldn't have a buyback right now, so he needs to be careful. He just cleaves down the illusions pretty quickly right there. The Doppelganger comes out. Phantom Lancer in a lot of trouble, but the Reaper Scythe comes out and he is dead for 130 seconds. That's exactly what you're talking about, ZrRock. One Reaper Scythe could just swing it right back in favor of Kinguin. And that may have just done it for them as far as their momentum goes, at least. And that's a Roshan, most likely.
And you have to imagine with, do you take this fight? Maybe you have to take this fight if you're MidOrFeed. You probably lose Roshan, maybe even a Rax here, if they test that Sven doesn't have buyback.
Roshan has fallen to the die.
Huh.
Well, there's
yeah,
the
this
Aegis.
is real bad for MidOrFeed.
Because they still have 85 more seconds, so they can easily push in any lane. There's no secondary towers up, so they can push in any lane here. Looks like middle is going to be their choice, and they're going to force a defense out of MidOrFeed without their Sven. And all that cleave he brings, especially to deal with the Phantom Lancer. So Phantom Lancer is just going to charge right on up. Why not? What is he scared of? There's a spin from Juggernaut. You mentioned that talent he took, so a little bit more damage, but not nearly enough. And Doppelganger's away. Rubik, he jumps in. Nothing stolen, though. He currently has the War Cry still. Lasso initiation. They catch Necrophos, I believe that is. Yeah, going to jump him on top. The Swift Slash. That's, yep, there's a heal. There's the Coach Drought heal. He'll be fine. Global Silence has one. Now the Hex up on a Juggernaut on top of that. Juggernaut's in trouble. He is going to end up on the Reaper Scythe kill. He does have a buyback, though. He uses it immediately. Chain Frost doing some bounces in the background. It's actually a lot of work in the back lines. Gets one kill already. Nature's probably gets the second one on Rubik, but Nisha, he's still jumping in. Kiz is going to fall. 30 more seconds still for that Sven. The Aegis going to be activated onto the Juggernaut, though. Or onto the Phantom Lancer, excuse me. Necrophos was picked up as well, and the Bash comes out on a Phantom Lancer. He has to fight this now. Perhaps just try to run at this point, but Nisha, it's not going to be easy for him. He's doing a great job of kiting away Cancel with the illusion. He juked him out right there. He takes out Batrider, and he's going back in. Cinnamon's going to fall, and now Cancel, if he dies right here, that's a dieback, remember. He's going to go for the objective, though. Not going to go for the kill on the hero. And actually, Nisha will just instead retreat in the long run. What a play by Nisha there at the end. Distracting Cancel, sending him away with the illusion, and then taking out Batrider.
Man, yeah, that one Doppelganger illusion is just awful. Does no damage, but takes normal damage. It's so easy to use it as a bait.
So, I mean, the fight was definitely strong from MidOrFeed there, considering the situation. They did have to use the buyback, though, on Juggernaut, so now he does not have one for the next 650.
But they got rid of Aegis, Cheese, and didn't lose a Rax. That's pretty good, given the situation.
They didn't even lose
they
tier 3.
easily could have lost one, if not. Yeah, they could have easily lost multiple Rax there if that fight wasn't on point for them.
Oh, you're right. I think if you're MidOrFeed right there, you are very pleased with how that ultimately worked out, considering the 130-second death timer.
And you have to assume Syndran's educating Tomato about the merits of buyback right now.
Gotta make sure you have that. Yeah, you gotta wonder, was that a team call decision or just his personal, but I would think, yeah, Syndran, his experience and everything, you want to make sure you have that buyback in a game like this especially.
It's just against the Necro, not having buyback is potentially game losing on an instant. Like, Tomato wasn't even in that bad of a spot there, but he got kited out really hard during his BKB, and just nothing he can do. He wants to kill everyone but the PL and deal with that at the end.
PL?
Like, they... Oh, no, Tomato's so caught.
Well, they find Keizu right here, at least. Tomato would have a buyback now, but Keizu, he does not. He's dead for 75. No Reaper Scythe kill, at least. That's the good news for him.
Okay, Necro did change up his item choice. Went a Lincoln's instead of the Dagon.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I saw him put that on Phantom Lancer in the fight.
That Scythe of Ice, though, is potentially going to be just huge out of Pathos. This means Tomato has to BKB pre-blink, and then just like BKB blink and hope he can kill somebody.
Oh, there we go. Initiation on a Rubik. They take him out. Global Science used in response. Scythe onto Juggernaut and kills him! 160 seconds he's dead for. No buyback on a Juggernaut. They know this for sure. Sven, God Strength is still active. He's trying to run, but the kite is real, man. He's having difficulty. Nisha, though, he is getting low, limping away. With that BKB up, it's going to be wearing out. But now he puts the Spirit Lance on Sven. Knows they're kiting him very heavily. They're chased with the Ghost Shroud. Exotic Deer running in. The Scythe comes out. If he's dead, that could be it. MidOrFeed on their last standing. Turns around the auto attack. Cannot go through the Ghost Shroud, though. He's dead for 95 seconds. And now the GGs, no, that's not. I saw a G coming out. They're just saying go, though.
There's 2 Gs.
It might as well be at this rate, it feels like. This is probably it.
Yeah, Tomato bought out a buyback again, so they have no team fight here to do this.
Wait, you're right.
Probably game.
Yeah, he didn't have a buyback. That I thought, wow. Really?
He did. He finishes Daedalus instead.
Oh no, Keizu. He's doing what he can, but it's at lost cause. They do not have any damage up right now at this point, and that's easily showing. I mean, they're delaying as much as possible, but it's to the inevitable result here. It feels like, as you still have 50 seconds before Sven is even up himself. So go top, clear the mega creeps. Kinguin on the verge of taking game 1 here in this best of 3.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Boy, are they trying. And Lich is good for that, too. Jane Frost bouncing. Clockwork, though, he's going to die right here. Kakar will live. He actually has his own Ghost Shroud now, by the way. And Bat Rider, 2 taken out with Reaper Scythe. GGs are called. Yeah, I mean, obviously, killing Juggernaut was what really did it there at that fight, but not having a buyback again on Sven, choosing to just commit all out to a Daedalus, going for the big burst. And
to be fair, with his BKB down, God Strength down, Juggernaut dead, probably didn't matter, and maybe a crit could have killed PL and won them the fight, but yeah, definitely an interesting decision.
What a game, though. Like I said, man, these games, this tournament, something about it. It's just chaotic. It's not the cleanest play, definitely, but it is just chaotic games, and we are getting entertainment as a result. But at the same time, I do have to suggest that Kinguin played that very well. There were really moments in that game where things just looked very fluid from them, and very smooth throughout. The one hiccup was that Roshan attempt that they went for. And that's where MidOrFeed kind of capitalized and tried to swing it back swing in their favor. But obviously, a couple of nice picks, especially on the Sven with the no buyback initially, is what really set it back in Kinguin's favor, and then ultimately led to the victory. 5-0-16 on Phantom Lancer, by the way. It's an impressive stat line from him. Did not die once. Well, that's game 1. Again, best of 3, though. We'll see if MidOrFeed can respond here, force it to a 3rd game, or if Kinguin will take care of business, wrapping it up 2-0 in what is the group stages. The SkinCoin WCA, guys. Type ! SkinCoin in chat for giveaway information, as well as you can go to skincoin.org. Check out the latest cryptocurrency on the esports market. You can trade in your favorite Dota 2 and even CSGO skins as well. Again, that's skincoin.org. I'm BreakyCPK, joined by ZrRock here. Stay tuned, guys. Game number 2 coming up next.